right, guys, we are recording, and I'm waiting for Mark to make his entrance because we're so high tech.
Sorry, that was funny.
Mark.
Hi, everybody.
Mark Holloway.
Yeah.
Ann. Meridian medical staff.
Right, and all that fun stuff.
We always forget to say who we are because we assume, I guess, that you know.
Since you're on our Facebook page.
Right.
Maybe you don't.
So we were talking to some of our recruiters today, and you know, we've all kind of noticed some things on some threads about a topic very close to Mark's heart, and we decided to go ahead and make a series of videos related to
Nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
Sorry, I almost lost my cue.
Yeah.
I'm off. It's late in the day today.
It is a little late, yeah. And this might be the third time we've tried to do this.
Yeah, that's bad.
No, it's all right. Anyway, so,
Well, there's been a lot,
give us the
there's been a lot of conversations about, you know, and again, guys, this is not about comparing companies. This is not about anything. I just want you guys to start to understand a very simple concept in travel nursing, and that truly is that nothing is free. If you grasp the idea that all of us agencies gain our revenue from an all-inclusive bill rate, and if we're just doing travel nursing, we're not talking about permanent place or anything,
right,
then there is a set and finite amount of revenue that we make. So anything past that, whether company's gonna classify it as a cost of goods sold or as an operating expense, it's still an expense, and it still comes out of you know, at the end of the day, the company's margin or a nurse's pocket. So
right.
a lot of feedback, but a lot of stories, and a lot of people.
A lot of misinformation, honestly, and the point that I want to make is that Meridian has always taken the approach of really wanting to inform travelers about how the industry really works, as well as what it's like from the agency's perspective, and how it just works.
Yeah, if you're going to be a travel nurse, I think I want to drive this point home. This is why I want to do a series.
Yeah.
This is the first one to really explain it. If you're going to be a travel nurse, or you continue to be a travel nurse, you really have to understand the numbers in the industry. And by the way, they're not difficult, but so many travel nurses go into travel nursing for various number of reasons, and they don't understand the finances. And you have to. This day and age, you have to understand everything about travel nursing. And the first one, and a lot of you guys really get it. If you do, you can turn this video off right now. That nothing is free. But many of you want to sit there and talk about, well, my company does this, or my company does that. This is not about our company being better than anybody else's, or another company not being as good or being better. It's about nothing is free. And I just want to drive that point home, because if you're listening to, and this is the real point, another travel nurse telling you how great his or her company is, I want you guys to start questioning some things. And a few of you are, most of you aren't. Most of you are going, oh, really, your company does that? Your company buys you a fanny pack once a year? I better go with them, even though they're paying $4 less an hour. Or your company pays a lot more money, I better, because it's all part of a big pie. And how a company slices it up is all that matters. And what I want you guys to do is start to understand the basic principle that nothing is free. If you're getting something free from one area of that pie, it is being taken out of another area of the pie.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. There's nothing else there. So a company can qualify and say, well, we have a budget set out for our marketing. It doesn't matter. That's still nothing is free.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make this one point before we get into it. We've been talking about 20% margin for 12 years now, and I've proven that other companies, that the closest I ever saw to our margin was a 25% margin.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing these videos, it's miraculous how every company's doing 20% margin
All
now.
of a sudden.
Make them prove it.
Yeah.
Any company can say they're doing 20% margins, but you get me on the phone, you get one of my recruiters on the phone.
We will.
I'll tell you the bill rate, and I'll walk you through how it truly is a 20% margin. And I want you guys to start getting really smart about this stuff. It's vital to travel nursing in 2018. You have to arm yourself with this stuff.
And that's true transparency. I mean, everybody throws that word around like it means something, but that's really what it means.
They do.
I mean, it's become kind of this
We're
overused
geniuses. We've been doing it for 6 years.
Well, yeah, we have, and it's you know, like.
Well, I'll throw this one thing out. I'm not the smartest guy guaranteed in the room. Certainly not nearly the smartest guy who is watching this video, but.
I'm always right.
But I would rather make 20% off of 300 nurses than 25% off of 100. So if you wonder why I go with a thin margin, it's because our company's growing. You guys are actually listening to it. And again, I'm not a genius. It just makes more sense. Most companies can't switch and decide that they're going
Right.
to make 5% less, which, by the way, is an additional 20% of that margin, if you follow me. So most companies can't take a 25% margin, drop down to 20% margin, because that's
Well, they've
20%, that's 20%
yeah.
profit, and also
Right.
snap a finger, they do it. Most companies can't do it. They're
No.
set up a certain way.
Right.
So again, getting back to this thing, I want you guys to understand the basics behind the numbers, and I really want you guys to start questioning companies, but more importantly, this is not a company comparison thing. Information you're getting.
Yeah.
And when someone says something that is just completely,
Well,
what's what
sometimes
I'm
they
looking
don't
for?
sound, but sometimes it doesn't sound that off the wall. I mean,
No.
there's
But it
nothing
is.
wrong with sort of thinking that it's a cool thing that your company is doing by sending you a welcome basket that has a bottle of wine
Right.
in it or whatever, or pizza on your birthday.
but challenge that and start thinking
Right.
about the other side. Where is that coming from?
Right.
And that's what you guys aren't, a lot of people aren't doing. They're saying, my company is great because of X, Y, or Z.
Right.
And including Meridian Medical Staff.
Yeah, and I think our point is that we're trying to make sure that you understand so that you can make an informed decision.
Right. You have
That's
to
all
know
we're trying to make sure
how
of.
big is the pie.
Would
'Cause
you
that's-
rather have pizza on your birthday, or would you rather make $1,000 more over the course of your assignment?
Right,
So,
exactly.
all right. So let me ask you this: one feed that I saw pretty recently, I don't know if you saw it or not, was related to extensions and pay raises.
Yeah.
Did you see his face?
No, I did.
Yeah,
That's
it
good.
was related to, how do you negotiate and get more money on your extension? So we want to start there?
Yeah,
maybe?
because that one really bothered me.
Yeah,
It didn't make me mad. I felt bad for a lot of people that were talking about how, well, I negotiate $2 an hour more when I stay at an assignment because my company doesn't have credentialing fees or they're not. It's less expensive to keep me there than it would be to bring in a server, which is a true statement. But I want that statement unto itself makes no sense because you don't have the full piece of pie.
right.
You have a number. And what I will tell you guys is that, and I want to give you this piece of information. If you are working a 12-hour shift or a 36-hour work week, I want you to plug into your brain
Yeah.
468 total hours, because that's the fundamental amount of hours that we as agencies are banking on.
So do that equation. That's
13 times 36 hours,
times,
468. So that's our assumption.
no,
Yes?
because there's 468 days.
No. There's 468 hours in a
See,
13
it can be
week.
so confusing.
So 13 weeks times 36 hours is 468. That's the total number of hours that you're going to be supposedly working over the course of a 36-week assignment. If you're an OR nurse or you're working on 8-hour shifts or a PACU nurse, that number jumps to 520. So everything is predicated on that amount of hours being worked. So from there, if you have that figure, you should be able to translate anything into an hourly rate. If someone offers you a $300 benefit, you just take $300 and divide it by 468. You'll see that it's less than $1 an hour. But that gives you the ability to
Yeah.
be able to translate these perks and benefits to be able to really compare apples
Right,
to apples.
right.
I know I'm talking fast because I just do, but my brain works quicker than my mouth can work sometimes, and this is the kind of thing that I want you guys to really understand. You have to know this side of the business, or get out, or be at the mercy of your fellow travelers or your other or recruiters or Mark Holloway's.
And be coachable. I mean, there's a lot of travelers out there who've been doing this a while who really think they know exactly what the game is, and they really don't.
Well, they do, but they're not using the other part of the equation, saying, where is this coming from? And again, this is not a judgment call on
Yeah.
who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong, but you have to have the full piece of the pie
Sure.
to be able to do it. So,
Right.
that's part of the thing.
Okay, so to my example
Oh,
of
The $2.
negotiating pay rates on
Yeah.
extension. So
Yeah, that
we're
was a good one
starting from the
because
486.
that was a good one. And I'll just use this as a quick example. That was a really good one because a lot of people were talking, they were very proud and kind of puffed their chests up, but they got $2 more an hour
Right.
for staying at assignment. And that's great. And if you have a company that makes you negotiate and you feel like you got something from that and you're okay with that, great. Personally, I was angry at those companies. I felt bad for a lot of nurses because my first question was, and I'm going to pause here for some dramatic silence. Like, hopefully some of you guys already know where I'm going with this. If you've been watching some of these videos, you kind of get where I'm going. You got $2 an hour on your second assignment because you were able to get that company, that agency, for those $2 an hour. I'm pausing.
And what does that mean?
It means why didn't you get it the first time around? Why did you have to feel like you were a great negotiator? What happened to that money the first time around?
Yeah.
If
You
they
were
are
involved.
giving you, and I saw a couple examples, well, I get all, they're saving money because they don't have to recertify me. They don't have to go. Okay, so what's the cost of that? And again, every assignment, every nurse is different. You might have to do another drug screen. Usually you don't, because hospitals tend to forget about those sorts of things. Usually you have to do a background check, or you might have a certification that's expiring.
Right.
Okay, so you're saving the cost of maybe an ACLS renewal. But
Yep.
you just
Yeah, put that
negotiated
into
$2 an
dollars.
hour.
Yeah.
So here's the math again. 2
Right.
times 468 is close to $1,000. So you got $1,000 benefit because the company saved.
No, they get the $1,000 benefit, and they pay
Well,
for your
the
ACLS,
second
which is
time
what,
around.
150
The second
bucks?
time I'm saying you got $1,000 benefit.
So
the
they made
company paid for it.
$900 off of you
Yeah.
by you thinking that you're getting a perk.
Just start questioning this stuff.
Or a
guys.
raise, I should say,
And I
because
love
we're
your
talking
comment.
about extensions.
I love your comment about even be coachable.
Yeah.
You don't always have to have all the answers. I certainly don't every day.
Right.
I get proven wrong with that. But the fact is that what I've learned is to start to question things, start to ask, be the devil's advocate on some of these responses that you see out there saying, well, please come over to my company because we get a fanny pack once a year. Or, my company buys pizzas when I have a birthday. That stuff makes me crazy because I look at their pay rates, by the way,
Yeah.
and they're making $2 or $3 less an hour. I'm like, that pizza, but best be the best pizza you've ever had in your life.
Right.
They better have special order it from Little Italy in downtown New York to get it to you, and because,
Or your favorite place in Huntington Beach?
or Chicago. I don't want to get the Chicago, New York thing going, but they better have flown that in somewhere because it better cost about $1,500 for you to get that pizza. I mean, I want you guys to start thinking about this stuff. You
Yeah.
have to. And for those of you that have been doing this for a long time, or if you're new to it, don't trust me either. Do some research, but
Yeah.
understanding the numbers. Again, realize you just negotiated $1,000 more. Doesn't that make you angry that you didn't get it the first time?
Right.
And again, this will be a little self-promotion. Find a company like ours, and there's more out there.
Yeah.
That you can trust and verify, which is the most important part.
Yeah, yeah.
That you can verify that you're getting a great margin every time, so you don't have to feel like you have to negotiate. What if a company said, "I can't. We're at the max," like we do?
We do? Because why do we?
Because we've already given the entire amount of money we possibly can to keep that 20%.
Right.
80% is either going to you or Uncle Sam.
Right.
And the rest of it's going to us. And that's,
Yep.
by the way, reduced once we get the vendor fee out of the way, which is another whole topic
Yep.
for discussion. But
Right.
when it comes to what we're actually going to see from that all-inclusive bill rate, you're going to get 80%, and so is Uncle Sam.
Well, there
Period.
is a video that he made with Andrew Craig, kind of
Yeah.
breaking down bill rates.
Yeah,
that
it's
you
a-
could look
it's a
for on
long one,
Traveler
but
Talk,
it's- but I
or
hope it's
Andrew
pretty-
Craig's YouTube channel.
Hope it's pretty informative.
It is. So, I think a lot of recruiters, we all kind of say this, and it's true that, and I know you agree that a lot of companies out there just bank on the fact that you're a better nurse than a better negotiator,
Right.
and we're coming from a place where you really shouldn't have to negotiate a pay rate at all. You should always, every single time, get as much money as possible.
Well, more importantly, when a company's willing, like we are, to give you their true bill rate, or even their bill rate before a vendor, you ought to have the skill set in working with that recruiter long enough that you can take that and you can translate everything that they're offering you, or what they're not offering you, into a full hourly compensation rate. That's pretty empowering. When
Yeah.
you can sit there and say, my total package that I'm getting for everything is $59 per hour because I'm getting this amount for travel, this amount for my credentialing, this amount for my swag, or whatever they're gonna offer it. All that stuff is part of the pie, guys.
Yeah.
So again, a company can sit there and say, we have a 20% margin, but they have a 5% advertising budget. Guess what? That's 25% margin. So be
Yeah.
careful with, internet and social media. People can just about say anything. What we want you to do is verify. Be able to walk through that and have the knowledge to understand how your numbers work, so you really know that you're getting what they say you're getting.
And I would say this, one of Mark's very favorite things to do.
Besides trying to learn how to surf.
Oh, and you know what else about Mark?
Oh, God.
He's a wannabe rock star. I'm not kidding.
No,
He
too old.
sings, he's pretty good.
Oh,
He
thanks.
sings,
Too old
and
for
he
that.
plays the guitar, and he doesn't wear a suit.
No.
He's like in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And we're gonna prove it to you, because I really think they deserve to see you, like, let loose.
How are you gonna? I'm not gonna. There's
We have
no
videos.
way. There's no way that's
We have
happening.
proof. I have
Oh.
proof. Maybe one
Maybe.
day I might get him to play the
Maybe
guitar
upon
on
approval.
camera
No,
in here.
That's the worst thing in the world. Not gonna happen.
Anyway, the thing that he loves to do the most at work is when a traveler will call and say, can you please help me make sense of my pay package?
Yeah.
And Mark will break it down. He will, ask you all kinds of questions because he's trying to make sure he's comparing apples to apples.
Right. I know the full picture, as do all.
Right,
By the way,
right.
every one of our recruiters can do the same thing too.
They can, yeah. But the great thing about what Mark does, and I mean, honestly, we all will, but I mean, it all starts at the top, obviously, right? We've all been trained to do this, but if it is a genuinely good package, a fair pay package, we will tell you, this is a fair deal, this is a cool, good on that company, they're giving you a fair deal, it's easy to understand. And, honestly, I feel like if more companies that, operated like we do, kind of like-minded, kind of work together and banded together, I think that would bring a lot of the improvement to the industry that a lot of you guys, talk a lot about wanting.
It's never going to happen.
No.
But we're out there. And by the way, there's a lot of other companies that do things really well too. So just take the information and question it.
Right.
Don't just regurgitate it and throw things out because you got something set in your mind. Be coachable,
Yep.
be open-minded, and really think about the other side of the equation. If I'm getting this,
What am I not getting somewhere else?
See?
Yeah.
They listen every once in a while. They
Me?
listen. Everybody. Everybody
yeah.
here listens because it's coming from somewhere, guys. Nothing is free.
Of course I listen.
We'll get some more examples on the next couple of days.
And if you guys have any other, questions or things you want to talk about, or you're curious about how does that, how am I getting this or that or anything related to, nothing is free.
Give me examples. Well, but be careful because I can't always comment back. It's hard for me to comment back. So I would just give me your suggestions, and I'll try to come up with some that seem to be some hot topics. In other words, ask me, would this truly be something that's free, or go from there? But it is hard for me sometimes to sit there and spend a lot of time.
Why?
Because I'm busy.
You don't live and breathe on Facebook and
no, it happens. Nurses get really mad if you don't respond to them right away. They say, "Oh, see, he's silent. There must be something they're hiding."
They have a tendency to think that
that's what they're programmed to think.
And
good for
which
you
is
guys.
sad,
Yeah.
and we don't like that. But he is a dad. I'm a mom. So I'm almost done. He's not, but whatever. That's for later.
I started late.
You did.
I did.
I started early though, so.
Yeah.
But we are still kind of old.
I got you beat. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon with some more topics. We got some things already rolling. I want to keep this short, so
thanks
here's
for
the introduction.
listening.
We're going to do some stuff.
Yep.
Nothing is free. I'm
He's
going to go and.
going to go turn off the camera. I'm going to tell you guys. I hope you're having a great
Say
Wednesday.
something really clever and brilliant.
I usually do. I'm full of wit.
Bye, guys.